We're back and we're talking about product offer pages and how to have them convert as highly as we possibly can, because your product page is the most important page on your entire e-commerce store. It's where the prospect makes a decision about whether or not they're gonna purchase from you. The only goal of our product page is to get someone to click that add to cart button. I've put together some slides here and I'm gonna show you how we are optimizing our product pages to get the most possible conversions. Let's hop in and take a look. So when we look at a product offer page, we have to understand that it's broken down into 4 distinct sections. The first is the header, and this is kind of where we are giving access to the rest of our site. And there's some tips about the header that we'll get into, but the most important part of the product page is the carousel. This is where you're showing off the images in e-commerce. As you will see as we continue in this training, your product images are basically all anyone has to go on to learn about whether or not that product is going to be good for them. It is what they use to make buying decisions. When you see the heat maps I'm about to show you, it's crazy. Like 60% of people who land on an offer page consume that carousel. So there's some things that we want to do in our carousel that I'm going to share with you that are very important to ensure that our product page converts as high as it possibly can. Next, we have the buy box, which is where they're actually making the decision of whether or not to add the product to the cart or not. And then finally, we have our stacked conversion support content, which is the content that sits underneath the carousel and the buy box that supports in the conversion making decision. Whether or not someone's actually going to buy, they'll skim through it, they'll check it out. So I'm going to give you what I've learned over the last 10 years about how to optimize these sections of the product offer page. So let's start with the header. The goal of the header is to provide access to any necessary non-product content like about us and contact us and returns and stuff like that, to really not get in the way and to be easy to use, easy to engage with, and to support the call to action, which is nice. It's nice if your header can have a call to action in it. And finally, to give people access to the shopping cart. I also like to reaffirm brand identity in the header. So you'll notice here on the product page, I always have my tagline in my header. Here in Zipify Pages, if you want, you can go into the layout of your header and you can remove that headline and save that and it'll get rid of it. But I really like to keep a tagline on my on the header because it reaffirms what my brand is about, who I am, what I stand for, and I always have a call to action in the header as well. And you'll notice that I often use a sticky header where it's stuck to the top of the page as you consume and engage, so you can always shop or visit the FAQ or get on our email list, so it's always visible there for you. Next, we have the carousel. The goal of the carousel is to show off the product, to demonstrate the ownership benefit, to load really fast, to have at least 8 looks, and to build desire for the product and showcase the product vids, GIFs, etc. Anything that you have that's not a direct product image. That's the goal of the carousel. And I'm actually going to break down for you some things I've learned about how to make the carousel work extremely well. But first, I just want to tell you the goals of each section of the page. What are you trying to achieve with this particular section of your page? So let's move now to the buy box. The buy box, you're really just trying to simplify the sales pitch, cross-sell and upsell if you have bundles or anything else that you can offer in addition to the product, overcome any final objections that the user might have, get an add to cart. I mean, that's the goal. The whole point of the product page. Get someone to add that product to the cart. Everything we are doing is designed around that one goal. Get that click. And you'll see when I get into some things I've learned about the buy box, what we're doing to increase the number of people who add the product to the cart. Now let's talk about the stacked conversion support content and what our goals are with that. So for stacked conversion support content, we want to sell. We want to demonstrate credibility. We want to speak to different types of consumers and overcome any final objections they may have before buying and really build desire for the product. And when I break down for you my formula for the stacked conversion support content, you'll see how we achieve all of these things. I thought the easiest way to do this would be to break it up into steps so you can actually build your page along with me. So step number 1, select a featured testimonial. Now, why would you do this? What do you notice about this versus this? What's the difference? Here, there's only one difference, and it's in the buy box. What we noticed was that when we opened the buy box with a testimonial, our average revenue per user increased from $27.50 to $28.76. That is $3.25 more per visitor. And our conversion rate increased by 5%. And the interesting thing about this test is we tested it over and over and over. And every time opening the buy box with a testimonial, outperformed just having the product name, which is what everyone does, the entire test, right? So you can see here, we put a testimonial as the opening to the buy box. If we go into Zipify Pages here and we look at our buy box builder, we're using a block in here called the dynamic buy box, which I'll just show you under buy boxes. You can select dynamic buy box, and then you can select one of your products from your Shopify store, and then it will dynamically allow you to manipulate the buy box. I'm going to show you a bunch of different cool stuff that this feature does. This is one that's already filled out, but notice that instead of the product name here, right, we have a customer testimonial, and that opens the buy box. The first thing that someone sees when they land on the page is social proof, someone being excited about the product, and that performs better than just having a product name, or which is what most people have. Like most people would have Boomstick Trio, and I just want to show you the difference. Most people would just have the product name like this, and you can see this is a much less appealing thing to consume when you first land here. I mean, yes, you still have the review stars and you still have the sales copy and stuff that I'm going to tell you about, but we found that it converted way better to take the product name field and leverage it to use a customer testimonial. Couple tips about the testimonial: pick one that enthusiastically endorses the product and keep it short. You don't want it to be too long and take up too much space. All right, let's move to step 2, which is the product carousel photos. Now, some things to know about the product carousel. Take a look at this. This is a product offer page. 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 What do you notice? You notice that the most engaged with part of the page in the heat maps is the carousel. We are finding that 60+% of people who land on our product pages engage with the carousel. So it's very important that you have multiple looks, multiple product photos in that carousel. Now, 90% of information that's transmitted to our brain is visual. 93% of consumers consider images essential in making purchase decisions. Your images represent your product's perceived value and quality. So there's really only 2 types of images. There are product on white or on a color, and then there's product in context or in lifestyle. You really need both of those. You need product only and at a variety of angles, and you need photos that are showing your product being used in its intended environment. So some tips I have for your carousel are that the quality really matters. It has to be high quality photography, well taken pictures, and the best way to do this if you're not professional and you don't have someone you can hire is to shoot outdoors with natural light on an iPhone. Show the product in multiple forms. Show it open, show it closed, show it in multiple angles, show it being used. Show the product in use, which is the most important thing, by the way, which is the product being used in its intended environment. It's more important than pure products on white. I also like to show how my product is made and what it's made of. Show the ingredients. And here's an example of a skateboard that I bought. And I noticed that this is not like a skincare product with ingredients, but they still showed off how the product was made. The other thing that you want to do is optimize the images for quick loading. And I want to show you, this is really, really important. So I'm going to go back into Zipify Pages here. We have this really sweet thing where you can upload images. So I can say, I'm going to add another image. I'll just, grab one that's already in there. I'll click confirm, and I can organize these and order them however I want. I can add a video, which is really important. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a video, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And I'm going to throw a video into my carousel as well, and I'm going to save that. And now you'll notice that when I look at this carousel, not only do I have a bunch of nice images, but I also have a thumbnail for my product sales video that is in that carousel as well. And one of the things that we do in Zipify Pages for you is when you upload an image, we automatically, no matter what size it is, we automatically on the back end render it into multiple sizes so that when it's shown on desktop, we show a larger version, then on tablet, then on mobile, so that it automatically loads super fast. We actually customize the images into a bunch of different sizes so that we can have it load lightning fast, because you want your product images to load super fast. You don't want any lag. And the other thing that you can do that's kind of cool and that we find helps with conversion is you can throw a border. You'll notice that I have a 1 pixel gray border. You can say make that 2 pixels if you want, save that. And then when someone's visiting your page, there'll be a nice clean border around the product images on the page. This is that 1 pixel here on the live page. It'll be around your video as well. So we like to put a border around our carousel as well, and you can do that right here inside Zipify Pages. And one final thing that's super important is image zoom. We also have this built into our Zipify pages dynamic buy box for you, where a user can automatically scroll over and zoom in on that image. You will find when you look at your visitor heat map tracking, if you have any kind of visitor session tracking, that users who engage with the carousel zoom in and out if you give them the ability to do it, and it helps with conversion. So you want that as well. If you're not using Zipify pages and my dynamic buy boxes feature for your Shopify store, code this into whatever you are using. As I mentioned, step 3 is to select a short form demonstration video or product GIF, which allows a user to see your product in action, in motion. It can be short, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. The goal is to show off the product, show it off in use. You can also use a GIF inside Zipify pages. We have this really sweet thing where when you select an image element of any kind, let's say you grab an image, you can have a video or a GIF. I'll just grab one of our GIFs here so you can see where it's actually just a moving image, right? So if you don't have a video, you can also create one of these, but ideally you have a product video that you can use on the offer page as well. This is a different version, a different product offer page where it's a little bit shorter of a page. It's just some social proof and a product sales video down at the bottom. So step 1 is select that testimonial. Step 2 is get your pictures together. Step 3 is make sure you have a product sales video. Step 4 is your buy box copy. Now, a lot of people ignore how important this really is. Your buy box is where they are making the decision of whether or not to add the product to the cart. So you have to do this well. Now, I've learned a formula that's worked extremely well for me that I'm about to share with you. So your buy box content, step 4. You'll notice this is Mgemi. I love this brand, but they have no buy box copy. I have a formula for my buy box, which is I open with a testimonial, then I have 1 sentence of ownership benefit, and then 1 to 2 sentences of an overview of the product. So you can see here, I've got a testimonial to open it, then I have an ownership benefit statement. Most popular moisturizer, soothe boom silk over your entire body. So that is a statement that is communicating the benefit of owning the product. Number 1, it's the most popular. Number 2, you can put it over your whole body. Then I go into a 1 to 2 sentence product description. So you can see here, it's kind of like a recap of the what the value of this product is. So handmade with the purest ingredients, boom silk is luxurious, rejuvenating, and you can soothe it over your whole face and body to heal and protect your skin. Try it today in 3 convenient sizes. So when you come into Zipify pages and you look at our dynamic buy box block, you'll see we have this pre-filled out. You can use this template or you can just use the dynamic buy box and fill it out yourself. But open with a customer testimonial and then have a one sentence on ownership benefit and then a 1 to 2 sentence kind of recap of the value of the product. You'll also see that we have product rating stars in here, and we find that these work well. They help with conversion, and I would recommend actually anchoring these to a block further down on the page, like for example, a social proof block, and I'm gonna go all the way down. That's gonna anchor that so that when someone clicks on this, it'll drop them down all the way to this social proof block. Here's an example of it. Here's an example of it on another one of our product offer pages. When they click reviews, it anchors them right down to that social proof block. So you can have it set that when they click on these stars, it also anchors them down to that block. We have that setting. It's called an anchored block setting, and I would recommend enabling. I mean, you don't have to have the stars enabled if you don't want. You can click into your dynamic buy box, you can go to the layout, and you can uncheck star rating, and you can click save, and that will take that away if you don't have any social proof. But if you do have social proof, I would recommend keeping that enabled. So you go into layout, you click on star rating, and you click save, and now that's enabled. And then under destination, you have it set to a page block and to anchor to a block that is further down the page. Now, for those of you that might be confused about how to write the ownership benefit statement and or the recap of the value of the product, what you got to do is you got to answer these questions. As a result of owning this product, you will get, have, obtain, become, feel, be perceived as, look, etc. So what is the benefit of owning that? Answer that, and then answer, what is the product? So those are really the 2 questions that you have to answer. You open with a customer testimonial, you answer what's the ownership benefit, and then you recap what this thing is. That helps someone make a decision about whether or not they're going to click that add to cart button. That is a formula that I'm using on all my product offer pages. I've tested a bunch of things. This is the formula that I find to work best for the buy box copy. The next thing we need to do in our buy box is choose our call to action text. So you can see here, these folks are using add to cart, these folks are using add to bag. The most common ones are buy now, add to cart, check out now, or add to bag. Whatever you decide to use, it's real easy to change. You can just come into your button and change it to check out now. For example, check out now is more commonly used if you want this to link directly to the checkout. So if you're gonna link your button and you're gonna skip the shopping cart, you're gonna go directly to the checkout, then at that point you would use checkout now. You can also notice that I've got perceived actionability, which is when you scroll over that, it animates. You can change that. You can say you want it to, invert color or change opacity. You can have a bunch of different things that it does when someone scrolls over it. But you want to choose your call to action text in your buy box. Another really important thing about the buy box is to keep your call to action above the fold on desktop and mobile. This way, when someone loads your product offer page, like for example this one here, I'll just go back over to it and show it up. When I land on this page on desktop, I can clearly see the call to action above the fold. When I switch it to a mobile view, I can clearly see the call to action above the fold. One of the benefits of Zipify Pages is we allow you, when you're looking at your buy box, to get a view of what the mobile layout is going to be. So you can see here, this is the mobile layout, this is the desktop layout, and we automatically keep that call to action above the fold for you. So you can preview it on desktop, you can preview it on tablet, and you can preview it on mobile. And the goal is to keep that call to action button above the fold on all devices if possible. You'll get more clicks on that button. Another quick win that we found is that having your buttons full width or at least 80% on mobile devices has them convert even better. So you don't really want short stubby buttons on mobile. Like let's go back to this page here and let's take another look at the mobile version of it, and we can see that that button spans the width of the page on mobile. Whereas you could set it such that the button here was, for example, medium width, and you could save that. And we've set it up so that on mobile, it's automatically going to be a default of 80% because you don't really want it less than that on the mobile device. So we do that for you with Zipify Pages, even if you choose shorter buttons for desktop. But I would recommend going with a full width button element on both desktop and mobile to just have more clickable area for your button. The next thing to look at in your buy box is unique selling propositions or a guarantee, or both under the call to action. I think these are really important. So we built this into Zipify Pages, but I want to show you real quick the way that we have it structured on Boom. The way that we do it for all of our product offer pages is we first have a 100% money back, no risk guarantee. And then we have some security symbols / social proof images. So you can edit this, you can put whatever you want in text, and then you could change this image element to be whatever you want. You could have a guaranteed symbol, you could have a bunch of symbols, you can upload whatever images you want. But I would recommend both a text statement and an image statement that told people what your unique selling propositions were and that there was a guarantee. We find that having this under the add to cart button gets you about a 10% lift because people are reminded before they click add to cart why they're doing business with you in the first place, and that the shopping experience will be secure and easy and hassle-free. And so I would recommend a text statement and image statements that demonstrate your unique selling propositions right under that add to cart button. Few more things to know about the buy box is the isolation effect on the add to cart buttons works really well. And what that means is where you have a contrasting color from the rest of the page. So you make the color of your call to action a different color from any other color on the page, and therefore it stands out more and gets clicked more. Here's just some examples of that where the color of the call to action really stands out. That's me in a mullet wig from my e-commerce store from back in 2007. I hold the record of most mullet wigs sold in America in the late 2000s online. A little known fact about me. The other thing that we mentioned was perceived actionability, and that was this thing here where you set it so that when someone scrolls over your button, there's some perceived action. It's either an animation. We've got a bunch of different ones built in for you. It'll show you those in there. We've got a bunch of different ways that you can show perceived actionability, but I highly recommend that. So those are the main things that you want to take care of for your buy box. We've built all of this into Zipify Pages, which plugs right into your Shopify store if you want to use our dynamic buy boxes block, or if you want to use one of our templates. Now, I'm going to go on to the other sections of the page, the stacked conversion support content, which will help you in converting. By far and away though, the most important part of your page is the buy box. The carousel and the actual buy box itself. Those have to be done well, they have to be done right, they have to include all the elements if you want it to convert as highly as ours do or as you can. But now let's go in and look at the other elements on your product offer page that are going to help you convert more visitors into customers. Step 6, we want to write our main sales copy, also known as our product description. So, this is the copy that explains what the product is and why it's worth purchasing. The goal is to explain the features and benefits of the product so that the user is compelled to buy. We really want to focus on our ideal buyer here. We want to write as if we're talking to someone, to a real person. We want to answer the following questions. Who is it for? What are the basic product details? Where would someone use this product? When would someone use this product? Why is it useful or better than other products? How does the product work? Is there any industry lingo or specific words that our buyers use that we can include in our product copy? Like, what is this thing? How do you use it? What are the benefits of it? How is it made? Are there any key ingredients or materials that we can talk about? Is there any science or proof or uniqueness that we can add into our product description? We really want to focus on both features and benefits. I know I just threw a lot at you, but I'm going to give you a formula that you can use to encapsulate all of this into the same way we did the buy box copy. I'm going to show you my formula for the product offer page copy/description. But we want to achieve the ability of communicating all those things that I just mentioned. And we want to focus on both the features of the product and the benefits of owning the product. Another thing to remember is that we want to tell mini stories. Who made the product? What inspired the creation of the product? How was the product tested? What obstacle did we have to overcome to develop the product, etc. So now let's get to my formula of how to bring all this into an easy to copy and easy to implement formula for your product offer pages. The thing to remember, when you look at the visitor IMAP tracking, the heat maps, when I watch back the user sessions of people going through my site, I noticed that scannability is really everything. Headlines and bullets. So my simple, meaning like people scan the page, and so you want headlines and bullets that they can scan through and then go back and read when they're interested. So my simple formula is 2 headlines, 6 bullets, and 1 story. So the first headline and 3 bullets is about the ownership benefit focus. Basically, what are the benefits of owning this thing? The second headline and 3 bullets is really the features of the product. So the top part is the benefit, the bottom part is what are the features of the product, and then we have a mini story at the bottom, which is why they should buy this thing. So let me show you this. It'll make a little more sense in the actual template when you can see this. Let's hop into the product template here. You'll notice that we use what is known as long form left-right, where it's going down in a long form manner. We have left, we have the headline, bullet 1, bullet 2, and 3, and then we have a video or an image. Then we have a video or an image, headline, bullet 1, bullet 2, and 3, right? So this is focused on the ownership benefit. Your entire makeup bag in 3 sticks. These 3 sticks can replace your whole makeup bag. So that's kind of like the benefit of owning the product. Then we've got a supplementary piece of media that supports this conversation. Can be an image or a video. Then here we've got what the features of the product are. No need to choose a color. This actually is not the actual copy. This is the same copy up here, but that's just because it's a template. If we go to the actual product page, you would see that this section of the page is focused on the features of the product. And then we've got a little mini story here where we're telling kind of the story of why you would want to buy this, and then a final call to action and some social proof. So let's look at this in the editor. You can add as many of these blocks as you want, right? You can say, okay, and I'm going to add in maybe another piece of content here, and I want it to, just be another image and some more copy, and you can just keep going. You'll notice that we'll automatically stack that for you on mobile so it looks good. We'll automatically truncate the images so that they load fast if you're using Zipify pages. But this is our formula, and notice that we keep unique selling propositions down here at the bottom in image format. We've got 100% natural, made in the USA, satisfaction guarantee. So it's always a good idea to use USPs, and especially as they scroll down, you definitely want a second call to action. And the thing about that second call to action is what it will do when someone scrolls to the bottom of the offer page, for example, and they reach that, it'll just anchor them right back up to that buy box. So after you write your product description, now we just want to fill in the page with more conversion boosters. So let's talk about what those are. Some of these I've mentioned before. So we talked about the unique selling proposition images. You can see, you know, these folks are using them here under their add to cart button. These folks are using them down below before they open their reviews section. We're using them here at the bottom of our product description. Purple Mattress is using them down at the bottom of their carousel. M Jemmy's using them on their collection page. These folks are using them under their add to cart button. So you can see that unique selling propositions in image format are always a good idea. And with Zipify pages or with any other builder or any page, you can just go ahead and add in an image element. Maybe it's, some brands and icons like we've got here or whatever. The point is you definitely want to have those on there. Next thing is the guarantee. I'm a big fan, as I mentioned, of using the guarantee right under the call to action button. But just to show you, some common guarantees are money back, satisfaction, lifetime warranty, happiness guarantee, a buyback guarantee, the lowest price guarantee. These folks are using a unique premium quality guarantee. These folks are using a longevity guarantee, right? Built for the long haul. These folks are using an interesting one, which is called a smooth ride guarantee. I hadn't seen a guarantee like that. It was product specific. They sell luggage and they're saying, hey, you'll have a smooth ride when you, push this luggage. So the guarantee can be even made up as long as it's a guarantee about something. Those help with conversions. And when I say made up, obviously you have to actually guarantee that thing and it has to be real, but it can be like something about your product. It doesn't have to be, one of the common ones. It can be unique, something that you create. Now on to step 9, social proof images. Now you may not have these, you may not have been featured anywhere or have any social proof images. So some ideas are customers, like 75. We've had 75,000 customers over all time, or 100 customers love this, or whatever number of customers you've had. You can use that to create an image. Experts, celebrities, crowds, friends, certifications, magazines, blogs, any kind of social proof that you can generate. Anywhere you've been referenced. When I say experts, I mean 7 out of 10 dentists recommend this, or 4 doctors approved of this, or whatever it is. Any kind of social proof that you can generate for your brand. I think the easiest way to do it is to aggregate the number of reviews that you've had and say, hey, we've had 100 5-star reviews, and you can put that on there in either a sentence or an image. Now, the traditional reviews widget is also very important. Yotpo, Stamped, Looks, those are the ones that work the best if you're using Shopify. And we have native integrations to those where you can just go ahead and you can click on plugins, and then you can select, Looks or Yotpo or Stamped, and you can add those to your page. Or what you can see, what we've done in the template is you can literally just use 5 stars and put the thing in there, the text in there, and then have it on your page that way. If you don't have a traditional reviews widget that is populating with reviews, you can just build it. We put this into our content section where we have a bunch of different widgets. Like for example, here's a bigger one. This is just like you could have a customer's image and their testimonial there, or you can do it more traditional e-commerce style. But you definitely want to have that social proof element on the page where you're showing off the reviews of the product. Now this one isn't super common, but I do highly recommend it. Write a product FAQ. So, what you want to answer in this are, what are all the objections that you might get? What are the people asking your customer support about this product? What's your refund policy? How long does it take to ship? More is more with this. You'll notice Purple Mattress does this on their product offer page. We do this on all of our product offer pages. We have FAQs. So just to show you, we've actually created a block in Zipify pages that allows you to build in a mobile-friendly FAQ where it's collapsed on, and then the user can expand it. I just want to show you that block in case you want to add this to your product offer page. What you can do is you can go to content, and then you can select the FAQ accordion block here, and then in the editor you can decide how you want that to look, and that'll change the look of it. And then under content you can actually fill out the question, and then then you can actually fill out the answer to that question. And this block is very effective. It's very beautiful on mobile. It works extremely well. I'll scroll down to it over here. And you can have the first one pre-expanded like I do here. I'll just show it to you where it's actually filled out. This one's really nice. So I recommend having a FAQ element. You'll find that not everyone engages with the FAQ element on your product offer page, but the ones who do are much more likely to buy. And you can see, we've added a bunch. Like, what can I expect from it? Who is it made for? What are the ingredients? Can I use it every day? Any questions that someone might have about this product, it's an opportunity to overcome those objectives. I find that FAQs are much more important for higher priced items, but we've just started including it for all of our items because it helps convert. And the final step is the you might also like product. So, you know, the idea here is you want to cross-sell items from a bundle from the same collection, any items you might upsell, frequently bought together items. You can see Kylie Cosmetics does this. You can see they do it in a bunch of different places. But I want to show you how we do it, which is once you get to the bottom of the product offer page, if you've consumed our buy box, you've scrolled through all of our products, or you've scrolled through our entire description, you're interested, but you know what, you're not quite gonna make a purchase decision. I want to have a headline element here that's like, hey, you might like these other products, and then just show you images of the other products, and then link those, right? You can link those to one of your other products on your Shopify store, so that when a user clicks it, or you could link it to, if you wanted, another page that you built inside of Zipify Pages. But the point is, once someone gets to the bottom of your product offer page, you know, if they're not interested in buying that product, give them an opportunity to shop items from the same collection. All right, so just to recap, I like to have a branded tagline in the header. I like to have a call to action button in the header as well. I usually run with a sticky header so that the call to action is available. On my product offer pages, sometimes I don't use a sticky header though, so I'll just unstick that so it's a little easier. But notice that we've got a real nice fast loading carousel with multiple looks showing the product in use as well as the product on white. We have our buy box formula, which opens with social proof, has our review stars, has an ownership benefit statement, as well as a recap of the value of the product. I've got my price point, my quantity selector. I've got a little description here that is next to the price that could say like best price or new product or something like that. I've got my perceived actionability, my money back guarantee, and my unique selling proposition under my add to cart button. If you wanted to get real fancy with it, what you could do is you could enable, for example, our countdown timer element here and save that, which is like, let's say, for example, you know, this deal ends in 24 hours, save that, and maybe you're running a deal, or maybe you could say, you know, expected product sellout date, which is something we do on our new product launches, and we update that. So when a user lands on this page, they also have a scarcity element. You could add that if you want. Then we have our product description, also known as our stacked conversion support content. We use the long form left-right strategy where we've got a headline and 6 bullets that are focused on the ownership benefit, as well as a additional piece of media that supports that ownership benefit statement. So basically a video or image that correlates with that content, and then we go long form left right. So if we have the headline over here and the video over here, we'll then have the image over here or video over here and headline over here. So it's switched up, and then it's the focus on the features, headline that's focused on the features and content focused on the features. And then we've got one final little section that's kind of a mini story about why you should buy it, our unique selling proposition in image formats, a supplementary call to action with our money back guarantee, social proof section, product FAQ, and then you might also like. So for traditional e-commerce product offer pages, not long form sales pages, I'll show you a long form sales page in another video, but for a traditional e-commerce product offer page, this is what we're finding to work the best after tons and tons of testing over years. This is our winning layout and formula for our product offer pages. Most important part is your buy boxes, which is why we built this dynamic buy box feature that allows you to come in here, select the dynamic buy box, choose whatever product you want to fill it with, and set it whether or not you want to have a discount on the product, for example, and then choose your layout. What do you want to have? Do you want the divider? I'm just going to enable all the elements so you can see all these elements. You can have the product name, a product call out, a divider between the two, your review stars, a product description, the retail price, the new price, the how much they save, the call to action, the money back guarantee, the scarcity timer, as well as the unique selling propositions. You can also upload as many images / videos as you want in here, set a border around them. I'll go ahead and just add an image just to show you. Just throw in any random image here, confirm that, throw a border around it. I like to do a 2-pixel black border. I think that looks the best, so I'll just go ahead and save that. And you can also, if you add more images in here, you can rearrange them. I'll just throw this image in there, and I'll just throw one more image in there. And let's say maybe I want to have the carousel open with that one. Click save. There I go. And we will automatically render these images for you such that they load very quickly. So feel free to use Zipify Pages, and all of these templates that I'm showing you are in there that you can use on your store. If not, I hope that you can take some of these tips, apply them to your store, and make more sales.